Hey, it's Ian Altman. One of our readers recently sent in a question about how to deal with complacency. See, they're a financial advisor and they said, with the uptick in the market and the financial market's doing so well, a lot of their potential clients just are kind of complacent with how they're doing in the marketplace and aren't really open to new ideas. And so let me give you 3 strategies for dealing with complacency or lack of urgency. And in fact, one of them is going to be something not to do, and then 2 things that you should do. So first, what not to do. So you talk to somebody who says, oh yeah, our current guy is doing fine. This is not the time to start offering a discount. Because if they're complacent with who they have, then even if you won that account because you came in and undercut them, you've now built the whole relationship around price being the most important thing. And then as soon as somebody else would undercut you, you'll lose that account until nobody's making money. So discounting is a terrible way to deal with complacency. But there are some great questions that you can ask. So the second approach that you can take, or actually really the first approach, because the first one you don't even want to take, the second approach is using something I call the client vision pyramid. So with the client vision pyramid, what you do is you get to explain to your client the different levels of service there are in your industry, so that way they can determine if that's what they're getting today. Are they getting the top today? So for a financial advisor, they might say, oh, well, it sounds like you're in pretty good hands. And when we talk to clients, they're usually looking for relationships at one of 3 levels. At the most basic level, and I'm going to give you some examples of what it might sound like for a financial advisor. So they might say, well, the most basic level is somebody who just kind of handles different stocks and securities investments for them and pretty much, hopefully they're getting good recommendations. At the middle level is organizations that have a fair amount of research, but they also might be organizations who have a little bit of a conflict of interest in that they might not have a fiduciary obligation to the customer, meaning they might get paid on both sides of the deal. That might make people uncomfortable. At the pinnacle, what we call the engaged level, those are people who form a full partnership between the client, the advisor, legal representatives, accountants, to make sure the total picture is covered from end to end so that the clients have no uncertainty about their current situation and their future. So which level are you looking for? And by doing that, by creating this client vision pyramid of the 3 different levels, and think of it like a pyramid where the base level is the effective level, the middle level is the enhanced level, and the highest level, kind of the pinnacle in the industry, is the engaged level. It gives you a way to compare to other providers and get people to consider that maybe they're better off working with you than with somebody else. So that's one approach. Another approach is to ask direct questions and say, wow, it sounds like you're in good hands. We always like to get a sense of what other people are doing that maybe we're not doing. Could you tell me some of the things you like about your current provider? And be genuine in your interest in what they like. And then after they've given you a bunch of that information, say if you could change 1 or 2 things about them, what would those be? And they might say, well, nothing really. And you might say, well, gee, here are 2 or 3 things that our clients tell us are really important to them. How about for you? And they might say, no, those aren't important to me, in which case you just learned they're not a good fit. But if one of those things does capture their attention, or they say, look, here's one of the things that our current provider doesn't do and I wish they did, those are opportunities for you to create urgency and help them become aware of urgency around those additional areas. So remember, first, do not take the approach of just competing on price, because if you win on price, you'll lose on price in the future. Then, to show a comparison in the industry, use that client vision pyramid of effective, enhanced, and engaged to show them the comparison of what types of services they could get in the industry, and then ask questions like, gee, what do you like about your current provider? And if you could change 1 or 2 things, what would those be? And hopefully, these give you some strategies on how to uncover urgency from people who might otherwise seem complacent. If there are other topics you'd like me to cover, just drop me a note to ian@ianaltman.com.